Hello and welcome to What the Hey. Thank you for joining me to learn the answer to a question that I received, and when I go to my notebook I see that the question is written as what the hey was alien encounter, and this question comes from Mr. 2007, so hello to you and thank you very much for the question. So in terms of a very basic answer to this question, if you get nothing else from the video, what you mainly need to know is that Alien Encounter was a very short-lived, seated attraction at Disney's Magic Kingdom. The general theme for this attraction was obviously alien outer space related, but the main reason why a lot of people still think about it was because it was claimed to be really too horrifying to even exist in the first place. This is kind of early on, but one of the fun facts about this ride is that the full name is Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter, so the name itself is kind of funny. So like I said, this ride took place in Disney, specifically Magic Kingdom, and the people behind it were of course Walt Disney Imagineering, but then you also had Lucasfilms on it, because if you don't know anything about them, they have a lot to do with outer space, fictional, fantasy stuff, so they had a good hand with creating the ride. And technically, Alien Encounter wasn't the first ride in its place. Before it was Mission to Mars, which if you've been on that ride before, you might be old, but that's okay. Hello, welcome to the video. But eventually, Alien Encounter was kind of open to the public on June 20th of 1995, so it was a part of kind of OG Disney. So I already kind of mentioned this, but the general concept for Alien Encounter is obviously that it's related to aliens, but more so specifically, the OG initial idea was that it was basically going to kind of be about the movie Alien. However, that was changed and kind of altered by Disney because none of their rides are really related to R-rated films, so they kind of made it more PG-13, kind of PG, by making it its own original thing. Now, before actually explaining what happened during the ride, I kind of wanted to explain the actual setup of it, because before actually getting onto the ride itself, there were two pre-shows, and most of those had to do with kind of explaining the lore and kind of world that Alien Encounter was in. So it was the two pre-shows, the actual ride, and then I believe there was a store you could go to after, so Disney trying to make more money, as always. But the entire experience was roughly 18 minutes, so surprisingly long for an attraction in general. But essentially what this whole attraction was about was you being introduced to this alien technology world known as XS. And during the two pre-shows, it basically showed these aliens essentially bragging about their alien transportation, technology, and the humans, aka you, were being shown how great it is, and you're possibly going to experience it, which during the ride you do.
XS Tech is #1 in electro-robotics, cryo-cybernetics, techno-surveillance, planetary restructuring, genetic engineering, and hyperspatial transport.
Well, how would you like to travel anywhere, anytime, at the touch of a button? Science fiction? No.
And once you go into the seated section of the ride, because I believe it was kind of a circular theater kind of thing, and you're just kind of strapped into these seats that kind of pretend to be the transportation stuff. So you're basically stuck in a room with a bunch of other people. But according to the plot of this ride, the alien technology scientist people try to show you how the transportation technology works by bringing in one of their own alien people, but the whole transportation thing gets messed up, and essentially what actually happens is a carnivorous alien comes into the room and gets transported and breaks out of this tube, and basically the whole thing is the room going dark, and you can feel the alien going on your neck, breathing down it, basically spitting on you. So it's very horrifying. And because this attraction quickly got negative feedback from the people who went on it for being too scary, specifically for Disney because it's mainly for kids, they essentially had the whole Alien Encounter idea scrapped, and it was basically removed on October 12th of 2003 and replaced with Stitch's Great Escape, which is probably what you're more familiar with. And in terms of my general opinion with this question and Alien Encounter in general, I think the whole history of it is hilarious, because I think it kind of stinks that Disney literally said, oh, everyone hates this ride because it's too scary, so we're gonna change it. Like, none of their actual rides are really scary, so to actually have one of those would be fantastic. I've looked through comments of like people who recorded it, and people want it to come back, so I think they should, like, to shake things up a little bit, make it fun for the older audiences. I think that would be great. But any ride that has to do with keeping people in place and relying on their like audio senses rather than visual, because some of the ride is like completely black and you can like hear the alien going around the room, you can hear people screaming, but sometimes you don't feel the effects of like the water and everything they used to make it feel like it was like breathing down your neck until it comes to you. Like, technically it was happening to everyone, but the way the seats and everything were situated made it feel like a unique spooky experience. However, I feel like I'm kind of lying, because if I went to Disney today and they had that ride, I probably would not go on it, because one, I've been on Stitch's Great Escape, kind of spooked me, but another ride that's like way worse than that is like the Bugs Life ride, because they're like spiders that come down from the ceiling and something like goes on your ankle. That stuff freaks me out. However, I really like the movie Alien, and I think it would, once again, be really cool for Disney to try something that's actually scary, because most of their rides aren't. Like, it's a family-friendly company for the most part, so I don't think they ever will. I'm just glad that at one point they did, and I kind of hope they bring it back, but I really doubt they will. But I believe that is essentially the answer to the question, and I'll have all the links that I got for the research in the description, so if you want to like do some research and educating yourself, you are more than welcome to. But that is it, so thank you very much for watching. Bye.